Okay, so even though I'm sharing my story, sharing my experiences, one thing you should know that is I think of myself, I'm not special. I don't think too highly of myself that I'm doing anything like groundbreaking. I'm not. It's not like I'm doing something that's never done before, right? So I try not to think of myself, too highly and being better than anybody because you are here today, gone tomorrow, right? But I believe that if you've gone through some sort of experience, if you have some sort of knowledge, why not use that to help other people get from point A to point B quicker? If I've made mistakes in my life, or if I had some success in my life, why don't I share that with you? Or why don't you share yours with me so that we can, get to where we want to get to faster? I mean, it just makes sense to me because if I keep, I believe in this. By the way, please, this is a new channel, so please press the subscribe button, join the family. It will really, really help Google to show the videos to like-minded people like yourselves. So please hit the subscribe button and the like button and the bell notification. Thank you very much for doing that. I'll wait. Thank you. So as I was saying that if I've gone through some experience, think about it. I mean, I'm in my early 40s. I've been living all these years, right? I've done some mistakes. I've done some good things. And looking back, I can use those both things, because if you think about the Bible, right? What is the Bible? The Bible is a book about do's and don'ts. The Bible is about the scriptures pointing to good examples and bad examples, right? So that's what I'm trying to be. So you can pick up the good examples that I've done and leave out the bad examples or learn from it. So that's what I'm basically trying to do here in YouTube land. So I'm not better than anybody, but once you start to do something like this, once you put yourself out there doing YouTube, you open yourself up for criticism, to be criticized by people. So, and I'm experiencing that now because anything I say, there's going to be comments in the comment section. Someone will take something I say in a wrong way, but what can you do? Because when I did YouTube maybe like 15 years ago, I started it, and then had some negative comment. It was a different topic, and at the time I was younger, and I had a thin skin. So when those type of comments, people make negative comments on the video, what did I do? I stopped doing it, right? But now I'm much older, much wiser. Well, I hope I'm much wiser, but I have developed a thicker skin. So I'm just going to share what I can with you, and hopefully maybe you can, it will benefit you some way. So I've got a lot of experiences that I've gone through in my life. Like I said, if you don't know my story, my mother took me to the UK at the age of 10. My brother and I been staying there, working over there, schooled over there for over 30 years. So, and that's the thing. I keep saying that if you are doing something and people start to criticize you, please do not let that demotivate you. Please. Because I'm going through that now. People are criticizing or even taking your message in a wrong way, and they will make a comment. But please, I'm just saying that from my little experience, if someone makes or criticize you, don't take it do not use that as motivation. Use that as motivation. Don't let that demotivate you, because when I think about my life, there's a lot of things that demotivated me that I stopped doing. But then I got to a point where I learned that I needed to attack those kind of things. For example, as I mentioned, I started YouTube before 15 years ago after a few negative comments, actually maybe one or two, and then I stopped. So imagine if I had kept on going, right? I would have been, a beast, a killer by now, right? So if you let criticism get you down, basically they're trying to pull you away from your blessing, right? And as Grant Cardone said, you need critics to be successful. You need haters. Because he said basically, if you don't have critics, if you don't have haters, you need to get some, right? And it's true, because if you think about all these politicians, if you think about even our president, John Dramani Mahama, think about how many haters he has. He has a lot of haters. All big people. Think about Trump, President Trump, the UK Prime Minister. All these figures, who you are. Even Jesus had critics. So who am I? If Jesus had critics, who am I? Right? Please go ahead. Right? So I'm just saying that no matter what you want to do, and you get criticized, do not let that stop you. Keep going. It's proven that you are doing something. You are doing something. When you put yourself out there, you are going to be criticized. So I'm just encouraging you. So for example, and at the same time, I'm not saying that all criticism is bad, because sometimes the critics, they might have a point, because it's not always your friends, your family will tell you the truth about your weaknesses. You need those critics. You need haters, because haters and critics will tell you the truth sometimes if you look at it for what it is. So I'm not saying that if someone like criticize or make a comment that whether it's derogatory or negative, or it doesn't mean there's no truth in it. There could be some truth in it, but we have to be humble enough to extrapolate the good from the delivery, right? I remember like my brother and I, we are two boys. My mother, so my older brother and I, like we are 4 or 5 years apart. My mother is the kind of the mother that's kind of my mother is very fiery. She communicates, she tells you your mind straight away, like fiery, she'll shout, and if my mom shouts at me, I'm able to listen and take out what I need to take out, and not really look at her delivery. My brother, on the other hand, he cannot stand how my mother would deliver things. Like if my mother says something in a harsh way, he can't take that. But me, I can look at my mom's delivery, ignore how she's delivering the message, right, and then take out what the message is what she's trying to communicate to me, and I use that to better my life. So I'm not saying that just because I'm being criticized, it means 100% of the criticism is bad, or it should be ignored. I'm not saying that, because like I said, critics would sometimes tell you the truth so that you can work on it. Because if you tell me the truth and say, for example, you're a bad manager, right? I saw in one comment, you're a bad manager. That's okay. I need to really think about that. Okay, what if I am a bad manager? What can I do to improve? Okay, I need to sit with that and be honest. Because if you are bad at something, it doesn't mean it's the end. Because think about it, we are born bad, like we are born not knowing, right? We need to go through growth, correction. We need to progress through life. For example, when a baby is trying to walk, is the baby good at walking? As soon as, like the first day the baby tries to walk or even tries to stand, is the baby good at standing? Is the baby good at walking? Even some baby, even when they're trying to crawl, are they good at doing that? They make mistakes, they stand, they're trying to get their balance, they fall down, they stand again, trying to get a balance and fall down. If your baby is trying to walk and keeps falling, would you tell your baby, hey, stop that, I had enough? Janante now nante na nyakra jan kwasa sem no o nante na o twetwe na o tehwe na o jai town. Would you tell that to your baby to stop walking because the baby keeps falling? No, you continue to encourage the baby to continue to walk, because it's a process. It's a process that we need to get to. So we are born not knowing. Even an airplane, when an airplane is airborne, I think it's like 90% of the time it's all about course correction. They set at the destination, but it's not like one straight line. They are always doing course corrections. And same thing, a sailor on a ship, always doing course correction. It's not like they set it and it just goes. No, they always need to do course correct. It goes, it goes astray, it goes off course. They need to put it back on course, right? So, which means in life, it's never like a straight road to the goal. There's going to be obstacles, and you might need to turn left, turn right, go under, go up, whatever you need to do, go through, swim under, blah, blah, blah. So we should not let the fact that we are not good at something stop us from pursuing that thing. For example, even right now, being in Ghana, my job within digital advertising, I had an opportunity to work for some really good companies like Google, LinkedIn, Essence Digital, right? Now, I finally decided that for me to get to where I want to, I need to start a business. And I started a recruitment company. Did I know how to run a recruitment company? No, but I did it for 10 years, right? I did it for 10 years and I made good money, better than what I was even earning at Google and all these other companies put together, right? If you combine the salary of even all those together, it was even more. So but did I know how to do recruitment? I didn't know. I learned it. Did I make mistakes? Yes, I did. I made a lot of mistakes. But guess what? I learned from those mistakes. I've been talking about, it's challenging working with employees in Ghana. It was those employees here in Ghana that helped me to build it. Did I encounter issues with those employees? Yes, I did. Were they good ones? Yes, they were good ones. Were they bad ones? Yes, they were bad ones. Were they challenging ones? Yes, they were challenging ones. Right? With all these things that I'm talking about, this is reality. It doesn't mean you give up, but if you are in the diaspora, you are in the US, America, and by the way, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. And by the way, if you are coming to Ghana anytime soon, or whenever, if you are thinking about coming to Ghana, we have Airbnb. We have an accommodation by the beach near Kokrobite, Oshie, and then we also have another one close to Matei Kokanation. That one is very close to the airport. It's like 20 minutes drive to the airport. It's 10 minutes away from Circle. I think 5 minutes away from Circle, then 10-15 minutes away from Osu, Cantonment, or it's very central. So if you need to get to anywhere, it's a cool location to have or to stay at. So I'll encourage you to support your brother and come and check out our Airbnb. And please, like I said, subscribe. It will help this channel to definitely grow and progress. So getting back to the topic, I say we should not let, I repeat, do not let the fact that we are not good at something stop us from pursuing those goals. For example, like what the funds that allowed me to be in Ghana, allowed me to still take care of my family, allowed me to be doing the Airbnb, allowed me to start a plastic recycling factory, buy this house, bought and paid for that. We live in, have a car, all these things, right? Came from a job that I did not know how to do and I was bad at. But just because I was bad at in the beginning, I did not let it stop me. I kept going. So when you come and start a business here in Ghana, do not expect all of a sudden to be fantastic at it. You are going to make mistakes. You're going to look stupid sometimes. You're going to have good employees and you're also going to have bad employees. You're going to have employees that steal. You're going to have employees that is late. You're going to have employees that even when they decide to quit, they won't tell you, they will stop coming. You have employees that will borrow money from you saying that, oh, maybe my mother is ill. They'll borrow the money, but then, and they say, oh, you can deduct it from the salary. But after they borrow the money, guess what they do? They leave. Right? It's the reality. You have employees, oh yeah, you don't tell you that they're not coming to work. You have to call them. Right? There's a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. I had this particular employee that was, this was my recruitment company. And this guy wasn't doing good numbers because I could check the amount of email this guy was sending. And he wasn't making any placements after 3 months. So I looked at his numbers and I realized this guy is not even contacting, that many candidates. So I took his laptop and watched his browsing history, and this guy's been using my data, the company data, to be watching porn, right? Just watching loads of porn, right? So what did I do? I had to fire that person. This is the reality on the ground. So yes, you have to, I try to motivate them. I try to educate them. I'm not saying that because we have challenges, we should just in my heart of hearts, I want people generally to do well. But I'm trying to use my experience, thinking, okay, and this is the other thing, even with the recruitment company, let me tell you the story, how the recruitment company actually started. While I was working for another company, I read or I heard the term that if you want to basically get ahead in life, you have to basically use your experience, your knowledge to the betterment of others. So while I was a manager at Essence, a lot of graduates came to interview for that company. If you never heard of Essence Digital, it's a company that manages Google's advertising budget. So, and I was a manager for ad operations. So I had the opportunity to be in interviews. I was an interview panel interviewing all these candidates, especially on a graduate level. A lot of graduates was turned down. And because I've had challenges when I graduated, it took me 2 years to find a job that is like a graduate level job that I could, develop a career. And because it took me 2 years and I had a long struggle to, it kind of reminded me. So when I saw them not passing interviews, it touched my heart and I wanted to help them. So I called about maybe 10, 12 of them. And I told them that I could help them. I could give them some training about what digital advertising, online advertising, what is CPA, what is ROI, what is DoubleClick, what is ad serving, what is programmatic advertising, what is a DSP, what is SSP, and also give them training on how to do a better interview, how to answer interview questions in a confident manner. So I gave them all this training. Guess what happened? They started getting jobs. And I was doing that for free of charge. They started getting jobs. So, and then obviously I trained more graduates. And one day a recruitment company called me and said, hey, we've been placing your candidates. We are the recruitment agency that's been placing your candidates. You are doing a good job. We want to meet with you. So I went there and they said, hey, we want to partner with you. They want me to train more graduates. And then when they place those graduates that are trained, they will give me a piece of that commission. And that gave me the idea that, hey, if I can figure out how to get clients and then send the candidates that I train, those graduates that I train to there, then I can get full commission for it. So that's how that inception, the inception of the recruitment company started. And it started by me just helping someone for free, right? And I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to help, right? So sometimes you just need to give of yourself so that more will be given back to you. But I'm not even watching that. I said, I have some experiences. I'm going through some stuff. If I can share it, great. Then it's more fulfilling that way, right? Because how much more should I take all my knowledge, all my experiences to the grave? Why that? So if I can share the little I know, I'm more than happy to. So let us not be discouraged. Let us not be discouraged. So anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. I want to thank you very much for your time. Like I said, we have an Airbnb at Kokrobite. Great beach view. You get a great view of the beach. So it's a studio, 2 studios with a penthouse, chilling place. So, and also we have, like I said, we have one in town closer to areas like the Cantonment and Osu, Laboni. So that one is situated around Mateko, very central place, 20 minutes from the airport. So please like, share, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. Thank you so much for your time. Stay blessed. See you in the next video.